what was a glorious week one for college football, maybe the best ever in terms of big-time matchups, which I think is thrown around a little bit too loosely at times, but a lot of good matchups in week one meant that it was obviously going to be a big drop-off in week two with a lot of cupcake games, and that's what we're going to see. But still, some pretty good games at the top, and it is time for my college football top 10 for week two.
Need more reasons to watch college football? It's time to bang some hats. Here's Chad Withrow's must-see games this weekend.
It is indeed time to bang some hats here on Hot Mic with Hutton and Withrow. Top 10 games the college football weekend. We begin with number 10 and a matchup that will decide who are the kings of the Northeast. That's right. The Northeast, not known for college football excellence, but I can't think of a better Northeastern college football matchup than UConn at Syracuse. This game, 11 a.m. Central Time, coming up 11 a.m. So 11 a.m. kickoff, okay? This is one of the reasons I wanted to pick this game, and you're going to see a trend with some of our games this week, is that there are places these games are being played that you're going to view that I've never, ever mentioned in a top 10 before. And here's the first one of those. UConn at Syracuse will be played on ACC Extra. It was exactly yesterday when I was researching the college football schedule that I learned that there is such thing as an ACC Extra. But in fact, there is, and you should tune into ACC Extra. I don't know how to find it. I guess you go to the ESPN app. But UConn at Syracuse will be played on ACC Extra. Jim Mora versus Fran Brown, two coaches that will tell you exactly how they feel at any time. UConn won 59-13 against Central Connecticut State a week ago. Syracuse, they're going to score some points. This year they fell 45-26 to Tennessee, but Steve Angeli, the Notre Dame transfer, accurate QB. They got good receivers. I think it's a good matchup. Syracuse, a 6.5-point favorite in this game. Game number 9, big battle in the Sunshine State. South Florida, the Bulls, traveling to Gainesville, one of the worst cities, if not the worst, in the SEC. So apologies to South Florida having to go from Tampa to Gainesville. Huge step down from a city standpoint. But the 13th ranked Gators are a 17.5-point favorite at home. This game's set to kick off 4:15 Eastern, 3:15 Central Time. A weird start time. I can't recall many SEC games starting at 4:15 p.m. Eastern, but I do like mixing in different windows for games. So often you get noon, you get 3:30, you get 7:30. I like a little 4:15 kickoff on SEC Network. South Florida destroyed Boise 34-7 in the opener. They get extra time to prepare for Florida. That game was all the way back on a week from this past Thursday night. Byron Brown, great mobile quarterback for South Florida. Can he make some things happen against a good Florida defense? DJ Lagway, pretty much every Gator looked awesome. They played Long Island in the first game, so no surprise that everyone looked good against Long Island. Trendy upset pick with South Florida, so that's my 9th game of the week. Game number 8, we're staying with the SEC. Number 20 Ole Miss, a 9.5-point favorite at Kentucky. This game is at 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central on ABC. It's a revenge opportunity for Ole Miss. A year ago, Kentucky, they went into Oxford and won the game in stunning fashion, and that Kentucky team finished 4-8. And that was the difference between Ole Miss making the playoff and not at the end of the season. Austin Simmons, first career road start for the Rebels, and first career SEC start. His big moment came against Georgia a year ago in a win at home where he got one drive because of injury and led the Rebels to a touchdown. Newcomers Harrison Wallace III and Kawan Lacey accounted for 71% of Ole Miss's offense in their Week 1 rout of Georgia State. And for Kentucky, Zach Calzada, 6th-year player, was not good against Toledo. 42% completion, 85 yards, an interception. So the big question here is basically Kentucky and Mark Stoops, they've given Lane Kiffin's offenses fits. Can they do that again on Saturday, disrupt the quarterback in his first road start, and can that Wildcat defense give them a chance to pull the upset? We'll find out tomorrow. Game number 7, Baylor at SMU. Hutton's wrong team favorite of the week. He's got the Bears winning. The Mustangs of SMU are a 2.5-point favorite, ranked 17th in the country. And this game, by the way, noon And here's another great network for you. It's on the CW. Right after that, I think they're going to show a rerun of Vampire Diaries or maybe Dawson's Creek after that. Don't know, but you can watch SMU and Baylor on the CW at noon. The Mustangs, they must run it well to win this game. Baylor defensive tackle Jackie Marshall, questionable. SMU was 2-3 a year ago when Kevin Jennings was forced to throw 30-plus times. And for Baylor, they have to be better in the trenches. They got whipped, and I mean whipped, by Auburn a week ago. The Tigers rushed for more than 300 yards. Kevin Jennings versus Sawyer Robertson, a matchup to watch from the quarterback position in this game. Really good old Southwest Conference battle between Baylor and SMU. Game number 6, Arizona State, 12th ranked, a 6.5-point favorite on the road at Mississippi State. This game 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central on ESPN2. Sam Leavitt is the player to watch for the Sun Devils. No Cam Scatterbo this year, who was the focal point of the offense a year ago. Mississippi State's pass rush really struggling. Struggled against Southern Miss last week. So can State run the football? Mississippi State under Jeff Levy, he's only played one season and coached one season and one game. They have not won when rushing for less than 5 yards per carry. So can the home field atmosphere, looking for anything to be positive about, if you're a State fan, can that carry the Bulldogs and those cowbells, can that carry them to being able to run the football against Arizona State and Kenny Dillingham's defense? If so, Mississippi State has a good shot. I've actually got the Bulldogs in my wrong team favored, but I don't feel great about it. But given my history and wrong team favored, me not feeling good about it probably means that Mississippi State will actually win. Game number 5 this week, the Illini of Illinois, 11th ranked on the road at Duke. Illinois, a 3.5-point favorite. This is the noon kickoff on ESPN. Not many people know, but everyone talks about Illinois' great year last year, and it was really good. They won 10 games, but Duke went 9-4 a year ago in year one under Manny Diaz, and they added one of the best and most expensive transfer quarterbacks in the market in Darian Mensah from Tulane this past offseason. But the Illini secondary, veteran, really good. That combined with a veteran Luke Altmaier quarterback playing on the road, a test for Illinois, but they're the better football team and would be a nice win early in the season for the Big Ten with Illinois going on the road at Duke. Sneaky good game between those two. Game number 4, Vanderbilt. Adam Brown's pick to win at Virginia Tech and wrong team favored. The Hokies, a 1.5-point favorite. This game at 7:30 Eastern time on ACC Network. Again, ACC Extra, CW, ACC Network featured in this week's top 10 games. Not a great sign for the quality of games top to bottom this week. Will Virginia Tech start 0-2 against the SEC? That's the big question. They lose in week 1 to South Carolina. Will they lose in week 2 to Vanderbilt? Kyron Drones got to be better throwing the football. We know he's a great athlete. He can run it. 42% completion percentage, 2 interceptions against a really good South Carolina defense. Vandy's defense is not South Carolina's. There's going to be opportunities in this game for Virginia Tech. Diego Pavia for Vanderbilt, we know all about him. We know that he can single-handedly win a game, and he's got a good supporting cast also. But can the offensive line protect? A year ago, that was the problem for Vandy. As the year went on, Pavia took hit after hit after hit, and he wasn't himself by the end of the season. Can they protect against a pretty game Virginia Tech front? Big question mark in the game for the Doors. Game number 3 this week. The border war is renewed between Kansas and Missouri. The Tigers of Missouri, a 6.5-point home favorite in a game to be kicked off at 3:30 Eastern on ESPN2. Crazy to think, but the last time this rivalry game was played, 2011, 14 years ago. Quarterback Jalen Daniels for Kansas has been really good so far, running it and throwing it. Missouri's ground game is good with transfer running back Ahmad Hardy from UL Monroe. And quarterback Bo Pribula, now he's the guy. Sam Horn out for the season, or out for an extended period of time, and a good runner also. So can Missouri effectively run the ball against Kansas? Should be a really good matchup. Again, odds makers have the Tigers as a 6.5-point favorite. Game number 2 of the college football weekend, our big noon kickoff on Fox. Game of the week, Iowa at Iowa State. The Cyclones ranked 16th and a 3.5-point favorite. Iowa State, my pick to win the Big 12 this year. This game, noon on Fox. It's the Cy-Hawk Trophy, for the 72nd time. This has been a weird series. The away team has won the last 5, dating back to 2019. Neither team has scored more than 27 points. That doesn't surprise you when you see Iowa as one of these teams. Kirk Ferentz, you want to talk about longevity mattering? Kirk Ferentz is now tied as the Big Ten's all-time winningest coach. Shocking to me. He can pass Woody Hayes as the winningest coach in Big Ten history this Saturday with a win over Iowa State. For the Cyclones, Rocco Becht was damn near perfect in a game against South Dakota this past week. 19 for 20, 278 yards, 3 touchdowns. Another fact in this game, the winning score has been 20 points or less in 5 of the last 6. A lot of defense. Iowa held Albany to 43 yards in the ground in week 1. Does Iowa finally have a quarterback? Mark Gronowski coming over from South Dakota State. He is a guy that can run the football. Does that give another element to that Iowa offense where they can make something happen against Iowa State? We're going to find out soon enough. Game number 1 of the college football weekend. No surprise. Number 15, Michigan at number 18, Oklahoma, the only ranked versus ranked matchup of the week in college football. Oklahoma, a 5.5-point favorite at home, 7:30 Eastern Time kickoff on ABC. Bryce Underwood, you heard a lot about Ryan Williams being 17 a year ago. Bryce Underwood turned 18 less than a month ago. He was 17 a month ago. So the young guy gets his first road start, tough environment at Oklahoma. John Mateer for the Sooners, he was every bit as good as advertised. Threw for 392 yards against Illinois State. OU didn't pass for 300 yards once all of last year. So clearly the passing attack much better with John Mateer. But they only rushed for right around 3 yards a carry against Illinois State. That's no bueno against a Michigan front that is going to be physical, that prides itself on stopping the run. They're going to try to make Oklahoma one-dimensional. If they can do that, could mean good things for the Wolverines. Impact transfer running back Jaden Ott only got 1 carry with a shoulder injury last week. He's going to be a focal point of this Oklahoma offense moving forward. Is this a breakout opportunity if they were saving him for this game against Michigan? So there it is, the top 10 of the college football weekend. Top 5 again, Michigan at Oklahoma. Game number 2, Iowa at Iowa State. Kansas at Missouri, number 3. Vandy at Virginia Tech, 4. Illinois at Duke, number 5. We are going to take a quick break. When we come back, Johnny Manziel, he's done some pretty dumb things. We all have. Who among us? But Johnny Manziel, some really dumb things, and he said something really stupid. That's next on Hot Mic with Hutton and Withrow.